Okay guys, welcome to my next setup video. It's for the V8 Supercar at Bathurst. I only had a few days practice on this, and you see the time was only a 2:07, but I think if I would have carried on practicing I would have easily got into the 2 minutes free. I didn't know the track before I came in, so this was basically 2 days of learning the track. So we're going into turn 1 where we're going to brake just past that sign on the right. We're going to go down into second gear, then into third gear. We ran a little bit wide on the curb there. We want to try and avoid that really as we work our way through the gears. We lost about 3-4 tenths on that bend, I think it was. I worked out from the previous best first sector. So we're coming into the braking point now, where you want to look out for that, the brake mark on the left. There's a little board, I think it's 100 or 150, where we're going to go down into third gear. You really got to be aware that the back end can flip out at any time, so you're going to go into fourth gear early, but always be ready to counter steer. Now we're going into second gear and trying to stay on the apex as close as we can. We don't want to run wide and get close to that wall. Now we're going through the gears. We're going to go into fourth gear, then back down into third gear, and then back into fourth quickly, just to stop that back end from skidding out. Now this is a part where you've got to be really committed, turning in nice and early, keep on the power, then onto the curb, keep on the power now, as close to the wall as you dare, and then back down into fourth gear, then hard on the power, run as hard as you can to the curb, then into fifth gear, then back down into fourth gear, into third gear. We're going to stay close to the curb, be careful for a sec now. You've got to really just lift off the gas and let the car just use the momentum around these corners, then hard on the power now as we go downhill into the tight left-hander way, this tricky braking point with no assist. You want to get down into third and then second gear and just be careful when the back end doesn't spin out. Then we're getting hard on the power, going downhill now for the long straight. We ran our gears pretty much maximum, I think it was one short of maximum, but the top speed was basically the same. So we're going to go around this right hander flat out, we're not going to lift, and then we're going to brake just as we start straightening the car up and get it down into third gear, as you'll see now. So we're going around this corner flat out, and then as we start straightening the car up, we're straight down into third gear. Stay nice and tight to the apex and hard on the power now, don't lift here, be ready for a bit of counter steer if you need be. And then we're going onto the last bend now. We're going to go down into third gear, then second gear on the apex, and then hard on the power into third gear on the exit, and then over the line for a 2 minutes 4.7, I think it was, as I showed at the start of the video. Okay, so we'll just run through the setup quickly now. As you can see, like I say, it wasn't an in-depth setup, it was just one that I'd done over a few days. We went quite low on the tyre pressures, as you can see there, because of the long straights the tyres cool down quite a lot, so you need to run them quite low. Brake balance 54 felt nice. Brake duct obviously going to go down to 15 to 20% for qualifying, 20% if you're going to run 2 laps I'd recommend. Brake mapping, I don't know why that went up to 8. I think that was from the race where it resets sometimes it resets. I've noticed the brake mapping within online lobbies, so always check that should have been all the way to the left. I don't know why that went up. I mean, if you're finding you're having trouble with the braking on that downhill section though, you could actually run that slightly higher, but it will give you a lot of understeer. I was getting so much understeer on the final bend and the first bend because of that brake mapping setting, but like I say, just make sure you change that if you need be, and always check it on other setups because it doesn't happen on just this car, it's a lot of different setups. Gearing nearly maxed, one more click to the right on final makes no difference to your top speed, so I went on the one lower. The bump stop we ran reasonably on 14. I think you could have gone a bit higher, but too high, and it gave too much reaction to the steering, which I didn't like. Suspension settings were quite soft. Obviously with the undulations and the hills and bumps, I wanted the car to not be too aggressive over them. You don't want to be spinning out on Bathurst or it's basically game over. Sway bars in the rear, softer again to give us more grip at the rear. The cambers were pretty much what I've been running, between 2.4 and 2.6 again, then 2 into 2.1. Rear toe 0.3 and -1 on the front, just to give us a bit of turning. Again, maximum downforce. Even with the long straights, I found that it was better with maximum downforce. Going through the force feedback as usual, it's standard. I'll leave you a replay now. If you can leave a like and a subscribe if you like this video, and I'll have more videos coming shortly. Thanks again for watching, guys.